Welcome to Pisces Tarot, and I am your host, Mimi the Light Seer. Your business is my business. Today, we will dive into your business with a timeless relationship reading, which means it could be platonic, professional, or romantic. In this session, we will explore the overall energy of your reading, obtain cosmic insights to identify the topics, spill the tea on the energies involved, uncover the positives and the negatives while revealing the lessons that you need to learn, and suggest actions for healings and the best possible outcomes. Remember, this is a general reading, and you have found it when this message is needed. Please take what resonates and leave the rest. Remember, I am LGBTQ plus friendly, using pronouns for storytelling purposes. Lastly, please like, rate, subscribe, and comment. Let me know how this message is connecting with you. And without further ado, let's get into your business.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to Pisces Tarot, everybody. I am your host. I am Mimi Lights here. And over here at Pisces Tarot, your business is my business. And ooh, child, we are about to get into somebody's business, y'all. And I don't know why that keeps on happening, but maybe that's a song. Maybe that's a reason why that's coming through. Hey, everybody. Welcome to Pisces Tarot. I am your girl. I am Mimi Licey, and over here at Pisces Tarot, your business is my business. And child, we going to get into somebody's business. Hey, y'all. Hey, this is an interactive experience, okay? Your energy does fill the room, so make sure y'all participate. Drop those emojis, answer the reflection questions. Don't be shy in the comments. All participation is greatly appreciated. And I'm just going to tell y'all right now, okay, right now, go ahead and grab your notebook, your pens, even your notes app, whatever you need to take notes down with today, because Spirit is going to be coming through with some revelation and some clarity for you guys. And so I want you to be able to make sure that you capture what it is that Spirit has for you today. But before we lock in, okay, just a few quick announcements. Y'all, I got some new merch in the store, so make sure y'all purchase that new merch if that's what fills your spirit. Also, one-on-one readings are available, okay? Spaces are limited. So if you wanted some specifics about what Spirit may have for you, go ahead and make sure that you book your appointment today. And last but not least, because I'm all over the place, go ahead and subscribe. Hit that like button, the bell, whatever that you need to do so that you can never miss a session, okay? And if you do, it's okay. You can go back and watch the replay. Now, who's ready to jump into the vibes? If you are, drop a star in the chat, because, honey, it's time for us to get into it. I see my guppies are coming in. I see my global cousins are coming in. We just gonna get into it, because I'm telling y'all, that song that came through unintentionally, yeah. Okay, don't even know why I was playing, but it did. So if y'all ready to get into it, I want y'all to put those stars in the chat. Here we go. All right, y'all. So it's a doggone shame that I have to do this. However, I'm going to be obedient to Spirit, right? And Spirit wanted me to definitely reiterate to you guys that you need to be very selective about where you're getting your information from, okay? We all know every source is not valid, okay? And I just want you to know that everything that's spoken into you is not rooted in the divine spirit, okay? People can share advice, give visions, declare messages, whatever, but not all of those things come from the source of divine spirit. And some people can cloak themselves so well that they can leave you in a space of confusion. And I just wanted you guys to know that Spirit would never guide you to something that is not going to be for your greatest and your highest good, okay? Spirit is never going to bind you, confuse you, keep you stuck, or have you in cycles that was never intended for you to be in, okay? So just remember that no matter if it's me or anybody else, make sure that you are always using your discernment filters at all times, okay? And allow your divine wisdom to infiltrate what is being said so that you can make sure that you're receiving the message that is being said, okay? Again, Spirit will never have you under manipulation tactics, will hold you from freedom, or put you in captivity for that matter, right? So I just wanted to say that because I know that some people do get confused by the different messages. And I wanted you guys to know that Spirit will never chain you in fear, guilt, or any spiritual bondage. And that the spirit of, the voice of the Spirit. Hold on. Stella. We're not about to. Stella. Hold on, y'all. Sorry. Sorry, guys. But just to let you know that the voice of the spirit will always bring you peace and direction. Anything else that you get is noise, okay? So, with that being said, it's important that you trust your inner knowing, okay? Now, with that being said, if it don't fit you, don't make it fit you. If something makes sense to you, just take it back with you. That's why I'm telling you guys to get your paper, your pens, your notebook emojis, so that you can be sure that you're taking back this information and thinking about it, right? And processing it and seeing whether things that even I'm telling you is making sense. All right. So if y'all ready to get into this message, I want to go ahead and cleanse the energy because my dog is over here acting a little bit obnoxious, but we about to get into it. Here we go. All right, y'all. So that being said, I had to get with my dog. All right, y'all. So before we move forward, it is mission critical that we take a moment just to cleanse our energy. Some of y'all been at work all day dealing with people and their energies. Some of y'all have been sitting in traffic like I have been for the last couple of hours. So it's important that before we move forward, we just ground ourselves and cause ourselves to be present and protected, cleansing the air, cleansing a way that doesn't belong to us, and also making sure the spirit is coming through crystal clear. Okay. A lot of us got a lot of noise, a lot of distractions. There's been a lot of things going on in pop culture. I mean, it's been just events after events after events, right? And so it's important that we ground ourselves, okay? And we're going to do this by taking in 3 deep breaths, all right? The first one we're going to take in is going to be inhaling light and clarity, holding it, and then releasing doubt and distractions, all right? Here we go. Okay, the second breath, we're going to inhale joy and freedom, hold it, and exhale sadness and captivity. And the last one, we're going to inhale wisdom and exhale distractions. Here we go. Oh, y'all. I promise y'all. I don't know about y'all, but every time we do that exercise, my legs and feet start tingling, okay? Now, let's just go ahead and invite spirit in. Let's clear the air. Here we go. Here it is again, y'all. What in the world? All right, spirit, divine spirit, we're calling you into this place. We want to say thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you for the messages that you are giving us. You know who is going to be here right now in the present as well as in the future. So let these messages resonate with those who are meant to hear these words that are coming from me. Let your wisdom flow throughly. Say what needs to be said. Help the ears that need to be open here. Thank you. Amen. I say, so be it, and so it is, y'all. That's the second time. Okay, that's the second time that song done came through. Hey, y'all. Hey, so listen, I'm ready to get into this reading. All right. If you're ready to get into this reading, I want you to go ahead and put the exhale emoji in the chat. Put the exhale emoji in the chat because I feel like this is time for us to go ahead and get into this reading, y'all. Now, as a reminder, y'all, okay, let me just go ahead and say this to you right now. Right now, okay? Listen, this is a sacred space. However, it does get spicy from time to time, okay? So with that being said, if spirit come for your edges, it's okay. You know, you can run, but you can't hide from the truth. All right. So the truth is not filtered down, it's not watered down. The truth is the truth, baby. The truth is what it is, okay? So I want to go ahead and get into this, y'all. I ain't got nowhere to go, so I'm gonna take my time with y'all tonight. All right. I'm gonna be honest. Oh man, here come Amazon, y'all. Hold that thought. Uh this is why I need to get up in the morning and do this. But here we go. All right, y'all. Now, y'all know before I do a session, I always take a minute to pause and sit and to reflect what the energy the spirit is sharing with me, okay? And I'm going to apologize in advance if I got to go straight to a detour because I don't want my dogs barking to disrupt the integrity of the live, right? But I see them. Okay. So anyway, um, but I always think about what is the immediate energy the spirit is sharing with me, okay? And sometimes it's a song, sometimes it's a vision, it's a dream, it's a color, it's something, right? That comes to me. And that's where my intuitive readings come from, right? So earlier today, I was sitting in traffic for 3 hours, no kidding. And when I tell y'all, as I was sitting in the traffic, I just heard spirit start saying to me, killing time, killing time. And I said, what's killing time? Who's killing time? And then I started to hear the old song by Destiny's Child off their very first album from 1997 called Killing Time. Okay. And so I just keep hearing Beyonce's voice, of course. But as I was thinking about the song Killing Time, right? Spirit said to me, look up the top red flags in dating. And so I said, okay, like, what is that about, right? The top red flags in dating. Okay. The top red flags in dating. And I said, okay, so what does that have to do with killing time? And Spirit said, there are a lot of people who don't know the difference between a red flag and a yellow flag. Okay. And a lot of times when you're dating, people choose to make excuses for the flags that they see because they want it so bad that they choose to ignore all the warning signs that I'm giving them.
You've got mail.
And I said, huh. So I said, now I know I'm guilty of ignoring signs, okay? But how do I let people know what the red flags are? So, as I told you to get your paper, your pens, and your notebooks, all right? I wasn't lying when I said that. These are the top 10 flags when getting to know someone, okay? Number 1, a lack of respect or empathy. Okay? A lack of respect or empathy. Some people are rude. They're always criticizing you. They don't have any empathy. They don't try to relate to you. They don't try to make you feel better. They don't even care really how your day is or what you've been going through. Thank you every day for my gift. So that's one of the main red flags, that there's a lack of consideration for you as a person. Okay. The second red flag is poor communication. Poor communication. Okay. And that's when conversations are one sided, it's inconsistent communication, which we talk about a lot over here at Pisces Tarot. And then there's also a disregard for boundaries. Okay. And when we talk about that disregard for boundaries, we're talking about how when people ignore your needs or your requests and they don't respect your boundaries, that is a flag. Okay. The third largest bucket of red flags is controlling or manipulative behavior. Controlling or manipulative behavior. Okay. This is where they try to control your life. They are excessively overly interested in you, and then they use that information to weaponize against you to basically gaslight you. Okay. They get to know a lot of things about you so that they can try to gaslight you. Basically, in other words, they take your past history and they use it against you, right? So, what is one way that people do this instantly, right? It's when people say, oh, well, tell me what it is that you're looking for. And then when you give them what you're looking for, they'll do enough of that to breadcrumb you into a relationship or get you interested only to pull back, right? And that's very narcissistic, and it's also a form of love bombing, right? But it is a major red flag that people overlook, okay? Emotional and behavioral instability, having unnecessary anger issues, okay? Drug or alcohol issues is a major red flag. And I know a lot of people always be like, oh, I'm just stressed. I need to unwind. I need to cope. I need to relax. But true enough, as adults, you need to have alternate ways of learning how to relax and cope with your life. Okay. Also, constant negativity. Okay. Always blaming other people. It's everybody else's fault but yours. Okay. Or theirs. It's everybody else's fault but theirs, right? And then the last bucket, of course, is love bombing, right? We already talked about that. How they overly shower you with affection and gifts and attention when you barely know each other. And then the major one is the lack of accountability, which is refusing to apologize, always shifting the blame, which also ties back to gaslighting, right? But then also trying to isolate you from other people. Okay. So there's multiple different things. And I just gave you a high level summary of what those red flags are in dating. Now, one of the things that happened as we were starting to get this live going today, not only was I hearing the song Killing Time from Beyonce coming through, but I also heard Half Crazy and then Over. Okay. Half Crazy and Over. So I said, what in the world is going on here, Spirit? Okay. Has somebody been turning all these red flags yellow just for the sake and integrity of being in a situation? And I mean, it's okay if you have, because we've all done that before. We've all been in places where we want to be in a relationship so bad. We're just tired of starting over again and dealing with all these false starts and, having to put yourself out there and not knowing where to go and how to meet people and trying to, figure out what to share, what not to share. I mean, if you've been in therapy, you get tired of going to therapy. I mean, it's just so many different things. Dating is hard. Aww. Dating is hard. Okay. And just because you're dating someone doesn't mean you stop dating them because you finally got to the next level or phase of actually being exclusive. I mean, you have to continue dating over and over again, even if you're married. It's 6 phases of marriage. And a lot of people get stuck on level 3 and they never overcome that. Right. So my point is, Spirit wanted us to talk about this today. And I don't know what exactly it is that Spirit wants us to cover, but he's going to tell me at the same time he tell you. All right. So if y'all ready to get into this reading, I want you to go ahead and put those psychic balls, because honey, I'm ready to figure out what's going on here. All right. Here we go. All right, y'all. So let's see. What is the overall energy reading for today? Be honest. It's Friday night. Well, ain't nobody got nowhere to go because we here, right? So let's just be honest with ourselves. Have you at any time, one time now or another, have you ever ignored the red flags and turned them yellow just because you wanted to give a person an opportunity? I want you to put a red flag in the chat if you have. I want you to put a green flag in the chat if you have not. Okay. Well, I said it backwards. Red flag if you have, green flag if you have not. If you've ignored intentionally the red flags, awake and say, "Yup, we all do. We all do." I mean, for us to sit up here and tell a lie, a bold-faced lie, say, "I've never turned a red flag yellow."
Goodbye.
We absolutely have, or you second guess yourself because you're like, "Oh, but is it really a big deal?" And then you start consulting your friends and asking them, "Oh, is this a really big deal?" And only you can decide what's a big deal for you because we all have different thresholds in our tolerance level, right? But the point is, if it caught your attention, it is a big deal. Okay? If it caught your attention, it is a big deal. It warrants some type of evaluation, okay? Now, the overall energy reading for today is exposed and revealed. Just as we were talking about red flags, something has been exposed and revealed. Exposed and revealed, okay? Eyes wide open. There's no more blinders. There's no more deceit. There's no more wolves. You're no longer cloaked under the disguise of whatever it is. I see you. Okay? I see you and we see each other. All right? Now, what is the truth that we need to hear right now for our journey? What is the truth that we need to hear right now for our journey? Seeing a person for who they really truly are is a disheartening phase of getting to know someone. That's when you start noticing that, one of their eyes is bigger than the other one. They good side is they left side, not the right side. They lip hang low. you know how it go. Okay. You know how it go. You start to look at things and you just be like, this mother trucker here ain't as fine as they used to be. They was never fine like that, if we being honest. But who gonna tell you? Who gonna tell you they was never cute? You used to love that person so much, you would walk around here and sniff they sweaty drawers. You sure would. And don't sit here and say that you wouldn't. But then once the newness wore off, okay, and you started to really look at them and you're like, yeah, you ain't as cute as I thought you was, right? And so then what?
You're ugly, you're skinny, you shake funny.
The truth that you need to hear right now for your journey is change. I understand that nothing can grow and evolve without movement. I understand that nothing can grow or evolve without movement. Okay. So the truth has been exposed and revealed. This person is not progressing in the way that you believe that they should be progressing. The relationship is not progressing in the way that you expect for it to be progressing. There's so many nuances to change, okay? But what I will say about change is that change starts with you and it transcends from the inside out. It doesn't happen from external influences. You have to make up your mind that you're going to do what you want to do to be who you need to be because that's what you want to do. Anything else, it sounds good, but let's be clear. Anything else is far from reality. Ain't nobody changing because they want to be with you. Okay, that just ain't how that works. But for some reason, people really have it made up in their minds that people change to be with you. No, they changed because it was time for them to change. They changed because they wanted a different outcome for their lives. And it just so happens to be aligned with the timing that you came into the picture. Okay? Doesn't mean that that change wasn't in progress. Doesn't mean that their lessons weren't being learned prior to you coming around. It just so happens that you came around at the same time that they was in flight of this change. Okay? Let's just tell the truth about that. All right? Goddess of the hidden realms, what messages do you have for us? Frozen for a time. This is about non-action, slowing down, and not now being the appropriate time. Okay? This is about you stopping and taking a pause. Okay? Going back to those red flags. What red flags have you been seeing this whole time that you kept turning yellow, but they flapping all up in your face, letting you know that they red?
Another one.
Be honest. What's the red flags that you've been ignoring? How is this affecting your life? How is this affecting, not the stuck at the bottom of the deck? How is this affecting your life? Poor communication and no empathy. Yeah. Isn't it interesting how people feel like they don't owe you communication? And I mean, let's be honest. The reality is nobody owes you nothing. However, okay, at a certain point in a relationship phase, you should be respectful enough to be inclusive of what needs to be communicated, right? You should respect the person enough to tell them what's going on with you, where your head is, what type of space you're in. Like that communication goes a long way, right? Because if you don't have that type of communication going on now, what's going to happen in the future when real things come up? You gonna run and hide that too?
Uh-oh. Now we're in trouble.
You know, it's hilarious how many people really say out loud they want to be married or they're looking for long-term partnership, but when it comes down to having a simple conversation,
Run, Forrest, run! Run, Forrest!
they can't even do that. Now, this is about you bossing up. Okay, there are going to be some decisions that are being made that are not going to be favorable. They're not going to feel good. But now that the truth has been revealed, now that this person's true motives, true intentions have been exposed, revealed, what are you going to do about it? You understand that this feels like you've been killing time. You see that? You've just been killing time. You feeling like you're going half crazy. You know that things are over, but you keep trying to force yourself to fit in a shoe that you really ain't meant to fit. And the thing is when spirit says no, the answer is no. There's no begging and pleading with spirit to try to get spirit to change its mind. No is a no. A yes is a yes and a no is a no. Okay? A yes is a yes and a no is a no. Anytime you're in a space where it's confusing, you're not being progressive, you're not lock and step in tandem with somebody, those are all flags to let you know that this person is not serious about you. But no one wants to admit it. Why? I mean, let's be honest. I know it's devastating. When you're really digging on somebody and you think you're being progressive, it's devastating. And then you look up and the only person that's progressing is you. The only person that's getting deeper is you. The only person that's trying to move forward is you. It ain't cool. It ain't cool. But this the same mother trucker that sat there in your face trying to convince you every opportunity they get about how they ready to be married. They want to have a family. They didn't do things right in their past. So now they're looking to try again and trying it right the first time. I mean, even I was telling y'all, as I was sitting in traffic, I was thinking about the people that's been married and divorced, right? I've met so many men who are on their second wave, right? And they're like, oh, yeah, I learned my lesson. But then the same things, if you ask them, so enlighten me, what were some lessons that you learned out of your first marriage? You ask them that question, baby, they be, oh. They have no answer. I swear, the next time you meet somebody and they tell you that they've been married and divorced and they want to be married again, ask them what were some of the lessons that they learned. Well, the first question you should ask is who left who. That's first and foremost. Ask the question about who left who. And I can guarantee you, surely as today is what, Friday? If the woman left the man first, he ain't over it. If he left her, good for you. But if she left him, child, you might as well log off right then and there because I'm telling you, that man is not ready. I'm just telling you. All right. Now, what are some lessons that spirit is okay? Spirit, I am filled with light. Change me, divine beloved, into one who knows my spirit is eternal and ageless. Let me release my old ideas of constriction and limitation. My whole being is filled with love, energy, and the beauty of a vessel of divine Shakti. Okay? So, what this is saying is there's abundance all around. Don't get caught up in, I say this all the time, don't get caught up in how old you are. Don't get caught up on how, you feel like it's too late for you to find somebody. No, love is all around you. We're not bound by limitations and constraints. We're not bound by anything being short. You are whole right now as you are. There is nothing missing, there is nothing lacking, and there is nothing broken. It's not. And it's important. It's important. It's important for you to know that about yourself. Okay? It is so important for you to know that about yourself. Don't give up on your quest to find love. If you feel like your quest to find love is your mission for this season in your life, let that quest start with loving yourself first. Put that energy into yourself first. Date yourself first. Spend time with yourself first. Find some new hobbies and things that you like to do. I know that this is commonplace advice, but what I am telling you is when you take the pressure off yourself of finding someone else, you would then put yourself in a position of where you're able to meet the person that you're actually wanting to meet because you're doing things that Stella, come on, come back and sit down. We almost made it, y'all. Come on, baby. We good. But when you put that effort and that energy into yourself, okay, then you don't even notice that you haven't had conversations with the people who mean you no good, right? You start busying yourself by focusing on yourself, okay? Start finding a new hobby. I don't care if it's riding a bike. I cycle anywhere from 10 to 20 miles a day, every day. Every day, okay? If I'm not out on my bike, I'm going for a walk or a hike somewhere. I'm reading books, Is it lonely? It can be, right? But what I'm telling you is I'm alone. I'm not lonely. Okay. I am alone and I'm not lonely. And that's what Spirit is trying to get through to you today. You can be with all the people that you want to have, the partners that you want to have, just because you're killing time, just trying to make it look like something. If it's not what it is, don't make it be something that it's not. Be honest with yourself. Stop ignoring all the red flags and just disregarding how this person is treating you. Okay? A person who wants to be with you is not going to leave you in a place where you're confused, you feel rejected, you feel dejected, you don't feel included, you feel excluded. Okay, y'all see all of these negative feelings and the things that's coming out here? If somebody wants you, they're going to let you know that they want you. And it doesn't matter if you a male or a female or whatever your identity is. It doesn't matter. When somebody wants something, they go after it. Okay? And that's where that determination comes in from, right? People don't put things that they want down. You're not about to tell me you about to go to the Louis Vuitton store and buy the latest Louis bag and spend $4,000 on that bag just to sit that bag down in a closet and let it collect dust. You ain't finna do that.
Come on, man.
You ain't finna do that. So you're not gonna treat me like that either. Okay? You ain't gonna let me, and that's the tenacity that you gotta have. But you build that type of resilience and self-care for yourself when you spend time by yourself. Okay, let me put y'all all up on game. I don't know if y'all know, but the new iOS 26, I have it. Okay, I've been testing it. I have deleted. You don't even have to block nobody no more. You could just delete them out your phone and turn your screen call filter on. Honey, if you don't tell me who you call, why you calling, and let me decide if I want to answer phone, you ain't even getting my voicemail. Okay, you're not even getting my voicemail. Thank you, Apple. You did us one solid with that. All right. So my point is, clean out your phone. Stop wasting up time holding on people's names, numbers, pictures. Like, you don't need none of that. You don't need none of that. This is the time for you to level set and start investing in yourself. That includes platonic friends. If you're around people who are treating you sometimey and wishy-washy, let them be sometimey and wishy-washy. But you're not about to call me when you're in a crisis. Period. Don't be afraid to stand on business. All right. And that's what Spirit is trying to get you to see. You could find all the people that you want to find. You can attract all the people that you want to attract to your life. But if you're not setting up those boundaries and going in with your eyes wide open, you're just going to repeat the same things over and over again with this new set of people, this new boo, this new friends, those types of things. And that's what Spirit has been working on, trying to get people to understand. When he puts you in these seasons where it feels cold and desolate and frozen and just not progressive, it's because he got something that he wants you to be working on right now within you. Okay? And when you keep trying to ignore, a hard head make a soft, you know what? Now, let's start looking at these cards. Mm, mm, mm. Stop changing the color of a red flag just because you don't like it. You're not gonna love somebody out of whatever they producing. You're just not. Communicate, compromise, forgive, work it out. Okay, you or your person is going to be trying to communicate with somebody. All right, and I'm going to tell you right now, I don't feel like this is coming from you. I feel like this is coming from the other person. But we'll see. Okay? We'll see. Didn't I tell y'all about killing time? Didn't I tell y'all about killing time? This card was facing straight up. It said, wasting time, stuck, no changes, limited. Stuck, no changes, limited. I ain't even have to pull the card. I was getting ready to go pull it, and it was already looking at me. Sorry, Stella. All right, what is the news? It's a season for you to learn how to love yourself and to be comfortable and confident in learning what that is. No one can teach you self love. Self love is one of those things you learn as you go through life. But at today's age, you have no excuse for not knowing how to love yourself. Okay? Key player, important person, playing an essential role, irreplaceable. Okay? Somebody is a key person. They're very significant to this. All right, when we look into the broken mirror, what do we see? Cards flying out. Desire, self pleasure, sexual thoughts, intense feelings. So, this is about desire, y'all. Okay, this is about desire. Somebody feels very desirable in this connection. It may be part of the reason why you have been so uncertain about leaving somebody alone, right? Going back to how it feels when you're dating, right? A lot of times when you be dating, you cross that bridge with somebody, you be like, man, I don't even want to leave them alone because then I got to start all over again with that again. You talking yourself into it. I'm just going to run in here and go take care of some business and come back. You act like you going to run an errand. Okay? You acting like you going to run an errand. I'm just going to run in here real quick and I don't do this. Like seriously, stop lying to yourself about what you're doing. If you honest with yourself about why you're going, where you're going and doing what you're doing, that's one thing. But don't lie to yourself and tell yourself that it's not something that it is. Just don't. Can't nobody lie to you better than you. Okay? Can't nobody else lie to you better than you. If you thinking that extracurricular activity that you're doing every blue moon with this person is going to change them and make them miss you, I want to let you know right now, you're lying to yourself.
I'm a clown. I'm a clown. I'm a clown.
Now, what lies beneath all of this? Oop, divorce, breaking a contract. So somebody in this is married. Okay, somebody in this connection is married. Oh, man. Ignored all the signs, got into a situation, now you frustrated. Well, I remember I said early on that most marriages phase out in the third out of the six fades, and that's when you come to the conclusion and awareness of realizing that things are just not what you thought they were going to be. You've gotten past that stage of realizing that your lover is flawed, but now they just ain't giving what you expected for them to give. And now you're just stuck like Chuck between a rock and a hard place. Like, what do I do? Well, first of all, go back and be honest with yourself that you was ignoring all the flags on the front end. Okay? True emotion is goodbye. Somebody's walking away. Ooh, child. Killing time. Made me feel like I was crazy. Huh. You thought it was over, but you keep calling me back. Oh, no. No. What is the yin and the yang and all of this? What is the yin and the yang? Also, if you're not married, this could be the breakage of a soul contract. Okay, so you could be married to this person or trying to get divorced from this person, or it could be a soul contract being broken. It's nothing wrong with cud courting, but go to somebody and know what they're doing. Okay. Oh Lord, here we go. Twin flames, soul, strong soulmate. Okay. Telepathic, spiritual, divine connection. Okay. So I literally just said this could be a soul contract, and here it is. Twin flame. Look, y'all, who got time for this? I sure don't. Okay. I don't know what you got going on, spirit, but I'm gonna tell you right now, ain't nobody got time for that.
What the fuck was that?
What is the true crime in this connection, spirit? Ugh. Y'all keep me tired with these twin flames, boy. I tell you. Y'all keep me tired. All right. Up, spouse and partner. Mm. So somebody's definitely married in this connection. Okay. Or possibly, if you're not married, you were supposed to be together in this lifetime. I posted a post this week clarifying how all the twin flame stuff works with the different connections and stuff like that. Now, granted, what is the divine plan is the divine plan, but we have free will. Okay. You can do whatever you want to do, but it's not advisable for you to do everything. So we know now that this is confirmed well, it's not either, but either it's a twin flame, strong soulmate, spouse, or partner. Okay.
This is a test. This station is conducting a test of the emergency broadcasting system. This is only a test.
You ain't got to test us like this, spirit. You ain't, You could have kept that to yourself. Okay. Now, what is the cosmic energy for this soul? Oh, that fell on the floor. Understanding. Okay. Understanding. Lock and key. Understanding is the key to deep connections. Okay. So there was no understanding. There was no empathy. There was none of that stuff. Remember all those flags we talked about in dating? It's showing up here. It converted over into a marriage. All right. What's blocking this situation from growing? Okay. 2 cards just see. Wow, 3 cards just fell out. The fear of touch. You don't trust touch. Take small steps until you feel comfortable with others. So they had boundaries, okay, that you may not have been aware of. They didn't want to be touched. They didn't want to be comforted. Age issues. You feel too old. I just said this earlier. You feel too old to date or have issues with your person's age. Remember when I said earlier around the time that this card came out, I said don't look at it as you're too old to date or that you're incapable of dating. Y'all remember when I said that? If you heard me say that, put the ear in the chat. Last card that fell out was excuses. You have so many reasons that it never works out. Figure out why the reasons it can work. So this goes back to them always making excuses too, always speaking negatively. So this is definitely like your partner's energy coming through. Okay. Mm, mm, mm. Child, let's see what's going on here. Let me look at these cards real good because I want to know what in the world going on here. All right. So, hmm, I want you to go ahead and drop your zodiac signs in the chat because I want to see whose business we going to get into. Okay. Person A. Person A, you have been trying your best to hold on to this relationship. You've been trying to communicate. You've been trying to advocate for change. You may have been suggesting therapy. You may have been suggesting couples counseling, all of those things, right? You have been trying your best to advocate for change because those red flags are flagging, okay? They're not changing colors. It's not a stoplight. They are bold red flags. And all of those things that I listed earlier are the flags that you've experienced in your dating hood with this person, but also because this person has gaslit, well, not gaslit you, but love bombed you so much so. This happened very, very fast, okay? You might have been dating. Oh, okay. I don't know why, but Spirit said approximately 6 months before things started talking serious about marriage, but it was very quick. Um, but it wasn't a long, drawn out dating process. It was very microwaved. Okay, it moved expeditiously, quick and fast. So now that you're in this situation, okay, it definitely feels like you're stuck. You're frozen in time. You've been advocating for change. There are certain things about this person that no matter how many ways you have tried to work with them and um, get through to them, their heart is just closed. Okay. They've rejected you in all the ways. Okay. They are saying with their mouth, and this has been something we've been talking about a lot this week about how people can say things with their mouth verbally, but physically their actions is also saying something totally different. And that's a problem too. Okay. So even though you have been trying to communicate, okay, this other person won't let you be great. You're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't. Okay. And at this point, you have realized that if you continue down this path, you are inevitably just killing time. Rest in peace to this dead relationship, okay? But nevertheless, there are moments where you connect with this person and it's on an intimate, physical intimacy basis, but it's not through the relationship is empty. Like, have y'all ever been in a relationship before with somebody where it's just empty? It is nothing there. Like, and I mean absolutely nothing there. Like y'all conversations are strained. Y'all both walk in the house. Y'all both looking at each other like, damn, this mother here. You know, like empty. Like if you had an emergency, that's not the person that you would call.
Useless sometimes.
And so this person that is going through this is teetering on the line of, do I continue to try to weather the storm and try to overcome this? Or do I finally be honest with myself that this is not working? Okay. How do I navigate this issue? And they feel that this is a twin flame connection. And I'm going to be honest with you. I'm going to tell you right now what Spirit just told me. You were told wrong. Somebody told you that going through this was a reflection of you. Someone told you that if you work on your shadow work and you do your healing and all that, then that'll help this person heal. And it was all a bunch of lies. Okay. It was all a bunch of lies. Okay. This is why I tell everyone now to be very, very careful about where you get your information from, because somebody has lied to you. And because they lied to you, oh my God, I don't like this. Because somebody lied to you, okay? This is why you walked into this relationship thinking that it was going to improve, and it absolutely was not going to ever improve.
Oh my God.
I hate to tell you, but it's not going to improve. This is an unhealthy, toxic situation, and let's just call it what it is. There is no excuse for why this is the way that it is. It is unhealthy. It is toxic. It is not about you. It is a sheer reflection of who this other person is, and you have to get out. That's it. You have to get out. I don't know if you're going to do it or not, but I'm going to tell you, that is what is coming through right now. Before I even touched any of these tarot cards, that's exactly what is coming out to me right now. Spirit is telling you right now, it is time for you to stop making excuses, and it's time for you to put on your big girly pants and make a decision.
Makes me like sick to my stomach.
Now, person B, they are very, very, very fearful, okay, of people touching them, getting too close to them, okay? So this person is very standoffish. This person is very guarded. This person is very, guarded is an understatement, okay? They're very, very, very protective of themselves, okay? I don't know why. I don't know what happened to them, but they have always been that way. And even though they put a title on you and called you a wife, I'm going to tell you right now, that ain't what it is, okay? That is not what it is. This person had no intentions on ever working on themselves enough for them to get through this, okay? I'm just going to tell you the truth, and you can do what you want to do with it, okay? So this person, like I said, they gave you a title of a wife, and I'm just telling the story, y'all, with in terms of the things. You could be the woman, and we talking about your man, okay? Whatever. It could be your husband, and you're the man. I don't know, okay? Just telling you what the energy says. Anyway, I don't like this energy, y'all. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. This person don't give a damn that y'all married. Marriage means nothing to them, okay? I'm just gonna tell you what it is.
Try.
They're not threatened by you saying goodbye. They're not threatened by you threatening them. They're not threatened by you leaving. They don't care. This person has very, very juvenile and unhealthy ways of how they deal with life, okay? And unfortunately, they have made a habit of running from things themselves, okay? They have made a habit of running. They are a runner. They are a track star. They don't want to be held accountable for anything. Like, it's very ugly energy because this points to childhood trauma. Okay? This points to childhood trauma. And while I'm not making light of it, I think that it is very sad that at today's age, this person still doesn't know how to confront their own dark shadows. And I'm going to be clear. It's not because they don't know how. They just simply don't want to. They don't want to. Okay? They make excuses for their behavior. Like we talked about with those red flags. They make excuses for, they talk negative about everybody else. It's everybody else's fault. It's this, it's that. No. At what point do you stop and you say, I am the problem? At what point do you say, I need to do something different for me because what I'm moving is unhealthy?
2,000 years later.
But they don't know how to do that. Okay? They don't know how to do that. And the reality is, until they put themselves in a position where they have to unlock their heart and be kind, compassionate, and empathetic to others, they're never going to find what it is they're looking for. And I'm going to be honest with you, it doesn't feel like they're even looking for love.
Fatality.
Okay? Lastly, but not least, age, right? Part of the reason why they don't want to leave you first is because they feel like they too young, they too old. Okay? They feel like, well, I might as well just stay here because it's good. Okay? And the reality is, I don't want you staying here. You ain't doing me no favors by staying here.
Get your shit, and get out.
That's what we are. That's what we are. All right? Ooh, I'm ready to get into this, y'all. If y'all ready to see what these cards about to say, go ahead and drop your zodiac signs in the chat. Drop your zodiac signs because I want to know who business we finna get into, okay? Because I'm trying to tell you. Light and cigarette, Tiffany, okay? All right, y'all, here we go. Whose business are we about to get into, Spirit? Give me the energy of person A. Remember, y'all, I do my readings for Sun, Moon, Venus, and Rising, Sun, Moon, Venus, and Rising. So just because I don't call you sun sign don't mean I ain't talking about you unless you know what all your placements are. The other piece is just because I don't call your element or your person's element don't mean you got to leave. You can sit here and listen and be a cross watcher like everybody else because we talk about it. All right, person A. Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. You are coming in today as a 2 of Cups in reverse. This is didn't y'all heard me talking about self-love earlier today? Just raise your hand in the chat if you heard me talking about self-love. That wasn't even 20 minutes ago. This is about you loving yourself, disharmony, distrust, breakups, imbalance, tension, and broken communication. Ooh, child, if this ain't what I told y'all earlier. Y'all know y'all ought to be swinging the floodgates open with grease in my palm and water in my hands because I told y'all all of this before I even touched the card. Where are my Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio? Drop them water signs in the chat. Drop those water signs in the chat. All right, person B in all of this. I should have known. God doggone it, I should have known. Person B. I know y'all ain't ready for this. Y'all ready for this? Person B is a Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. Where are my earth signs at? If you or your person is a water sign or earth sign, go ahead and drop those water or earth signs in the chat. Person B is coming in as a 3 of Pentacles. How fitting, okay? This is teamwork. This is collaboration, learning, implementation, and building something, okay? I don't believe it. I don't believe it. If y'all ready to get into this reading, y'all, I know I done went all around the world and back again. If y'all ready to get into this reading, hey, Dominique, if y'all ready to get into this reading, I want you to go ahead and put the moon in the chat because we got to reveal with the truth what's going on here. Put the moons in the chat. All right, y'all? Woo, child. Here we go. All right, y'all. So this is where spirit confirms the whispers from earlier, and this is where the message meets the cards. If you missed all of what I said before I got to this point, go back and watch the playback on YouTube. I am at Mimi Lights here because everything that I said to y'all is what came out prior to me touching these cards. All right. So, person A, Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. Spirit, what is going on with these earth signs and these water signs? All right, person A, you are coming through as the Ace of Swords. Honey, you have gotten that moment of clarity. You have come to the realization and the conclusion that this is not moving where you thought that it was going to be moving. Okay? It's not giving what you thought it was going to be giving. You done did all this work, got here right now to this particular spot, only to realize that you done got stuck. This is hurtful. This is hurtful. When I tell you, you wanted this relationship so bad. Oh, I got time today, y'all. I got time today. You wanted this relationship so bad. This was the apple of your eye. They checked all your boxes. But the boxes that they were checking were the intangibles. They were well, let me rephrase. The boxes that they were checking were the tangible things, right? You were not focused on the intangible, the immaterial things, the qualities and characteristics of a person that you cannot teach, that you cannot fix, right? So you were going through this hoping for the best because, like I said, they definitely love bombed you. Okay, they definitely love bombed you. They were over invested in getting to know you because they wanted to weaponize your trauma against you. So now what? You rushed into this. And now you're sitting back and reflecting, understandably shaken up because you finally got that aha moment. Wait a minute, this is a fake, phony, and a fraud. So now what? You over here looking at him sideways, but when really you need to be looking at yourself in the mirror. Like, what was it that was so appealing and attractive to this person that you ignored all the red flags? Okay? Ignored them all. Now you over here looking at him half crazy. No, look at yourself half crazy. Girl, what was you thinking? Child, was it that big that you lost your marbles? You got to ask the question. Ask the questions. All right? Now, dang, that's 2 cards. We got the Page of Cups and the High Priestess here. The Page of Cups is in reverse, okay, with this High Priestess. All right? I go back to what I said before. You saw all these red lines. You saw the red flags, the red lines. I mean, you seen everything that was flagging in your face that was the color red. Okay, you saw it. You knew. But for some reason, you just was not interested in paying attention to it. And the question is why? Why is it that you felt like you were special? What was it about this that made you feel like these red flags didn't apply to you? I mean, let's be clear. What was it about this particular situation that made you feel like if you just been real still, it was going to blow over? It was not going to change. Sweetie, this person showed you their character from the very beginning, and you overlooked it. Overlooked it. Your spirit man was showing you every sign. Everything that you were trying to overlook and act like it wasn't a big deal, spirit was all up in your face. Spirit even magnified it. Like, I know you see that. Let me get it big for you. Okay? Like, in real life. I had a situation like that in my past. I was dating somebody, and I just happened to go to the bathroom. I done told y'all this story a few times, but I went to the bathroom, and you know how when y'all sit on the toilet and y'all look down at the ground for whatever reason, you know, probably because you're getting ready to get up and you about to wipe. And I looked down, and it was like a hair on the ground. And I swear it was like my eyes drilled in, like my spider senses went off. And it was like, I know that is not a hair. And it was so, like, my eyes was like, that is a hair. And it's not yours. Okay? So my point is, you ignored all the signs. Okay? And now that you're starting to really see that things are not going to change, nothing is going to change about the situation, that revelation has caused you for some concern. Because now the question is, like, how do I get out of this? I done married this man. And now I'm stuck with this mother trucker? These are really thoughts. These are really thoughts. And you're sitting here going day by day, living with this person, realizing, recognizing, and accepting that you're just killing time. You keep trying to have a conversation. You keep trying to be resolute. You want to, you know, babe, let's go to the zoo. And they over here looking at you like you speaking in a whole different language. It's no way to get through to a person who don't want to be spoken to. And they don't want that with you. Yeah, They don't even give you a full answer. They don't give you a full yeah, Doing you off. Okay? But it's because of this person and the things that they're saying and doing that's making you get to this point where it's like, I can't do this anymore. My heart is not here. This is empty. This is sad. It ain't given. But for some reason or another, you just keep on holding on. Thinking that something's going to change. It's almost like trying to get through to the IRS during tax season. You think you about to get through? Baby, they know you the 497 caller at Q at 8 a.m. They didn't know how to get to them phones. They gonna be there all day. Okay? They see you. Now, person B, what are they going through right now? They're coming in as the 8 of Swords. Okay? They're coming through as the 8 of Swords right now. They're not happy about being with you either. I'm going to be honest with you. They want out too. Because now they got to be accountable for their bad choices and poor decisions. Child, they want to check out too. They want to check out too. They want to run. This person may have a hobby where they play video games a lot, or they may have a hobby where they have some type of online presence, um, like streaming or something. They do something with computers that takes up a lot of their time. Okay, a lot of their time. And this is where they go when they want to detach from their reality, and this is what they do when they want to distract themselves, right? So this particular person, when they come home from work, their first agenda item of the day is not even saying hello, how are you, how was your day, what's for dinner. They don't say nothing. They come in the house and then they run right into doing what they were supposed to be doing. Okay? They not here for this. They not here for you. They don't want no parts of you. It looked good. They wanted to get married just to say that they got married. Okay? They crossed that bridge with somebody. They got to the finish line. You, unfortunately, was the victim. I hate to say it, person A. But that's what it was. Yeah. Yep. That's exactly what it was. You initially brought that balance to them. You initially made them feel things that they didn't feel like they was going to get. But the reality was it was all surface to begin with. So they came at you with their cup full, pretending, giving you lip service that, oh, I've been looking all my life for you. I've been wanting to be with somebody like you forever. And you just over here like, for real? Like that Rihanna meme. Y'all know that Rihanna meme when she go, for real?
Forever, forever, ever, forever, ever.
And you jumped on. You jumped on. And it went fast, okay? Y'all got on this train ride, moving fast, when y'all should have been slamming the brakes. But instead, y'all just kept going. And that part of you, person A, was where you started wanting a deeper, more meaningful connection. You had expectations for what you thought a relationship was supposed to look like, especially one that was approaching marriage. And let me be clear, you guys probably didn't even go have a formal wedding. I feel like y'all went to the Justice of Peace with the promise of y'all gonna do something later, and then that never happened either, okay? So this person totally tricked you out of your dream. And that's part of what some of the resentment is here, because you had expectations that were left unmet. And that's the hard pill to swallow, because you waited all your life to find somebody that was going to connect with you on that level. And the only way y'all was connecting was if y'all plugged into each other's parts. That was it. You made a life decision based on a physical gesture. And you're still making life decisions based on a physical gesture. Now, I'm going to be honest. I'm going to tell you, person A, you're not the one that's stepping out. I think you really feel trapped, that you really want this to work. Like you really been hoping for it to work. You've been going to therapy, reading books, trying to implement things that you have learned to try to get you to win at this. And it just ain't given. And it's because you are here, you're in this alone. And I hate to say it, but you're in this relationship alone. And the more you fight for it, the more you come to the conclusion the lights is on, but
Survey said
ain't nobody shopping. This is where it gets hurtful. Okay? This is where it gets hurtful. Now, what is favorable about this? Woo. We got the Fool card. This is you going on a new spiritual journey. If you recall, in the beginning of this reading, even before we got to this point, I was saying this is about you learning how to love yourself, learning how to take time for you, take a moment to take a step back and to reflect. Get to know yourself. Busy yourself by loving yourself the way that you want somebody else to love you. And I know it sounds sad. I know it sounds so demeaning. I know it's just like, but why? I've done this so many times. And I get it. Nobody wants to be the ex old person and being alone and trying to date again. Nobody wants that. Nobody wants that. But the reality is, you deserve so much more than the less of what you've been getting. Do you not understand that every day that you go by in this connection and you settle, that you're robbing yourself of the love that you genuinely could be having? Do you understand that the more time you play games with this person, the more empowered they are to continue to do the same things with you all over again? It's not a showdown. It's a closed case decision. This ain't working for me. And what you gonna do about it? And really, it ain't a decision for them to make a decision. It's more like, this ain't working for me and this is what I'm gonna do about it. Because you've shown me through your behaviors, you've shown me through your conversations, you've shown me through your energy how you feel about me. And if you can give somebody, excuse me, the title of wife or husband and you treat them like that, that says a lot about who you are as a person. This is not a me problem. It's a you problem. It's a you problem. Now, let me ask you a question. If you can relate to the narrative of person A or person B, what do you feel like the lesson is that Spirit is trying to teach you in this season that got you ready to go take this new journey? Is it the self-love thing? Is it that you can do this by yourself? You could be bad by yourself. I ain't got to wait for nothing. I ain't got to want for nothing. I mean, like, what is the lesson in this for you? How do you empower yourself? I want you to think about that and write that down in the chat. All right. Now, what is consequential about this? The Four of Pentacles. This person is selfish and stingy. They are never, ever going to give you more than what they're giving you now. It goes back to what I said in the beginning. They have a closed heart. They're afraid of touch. They don't want you to touch them in any way other than sexually. Let's just call it what it is. They don't want nobody close to them. They don't want nobody close to them. But you keep on thinking that if you switch a little bit more sexy around the house, something gonna change. It's not. Nothing about this situation is going to change until you force it to change. How do you feel being in this situation and knowing that it's not going anywhere? Like, what do they have to say to you and do to you for you to say, you know what? It's time for me to make my move. I want you to think about that and write that down in your journal, write it down in the chat, write it down in the comment section, whatever. What's the next big thing that they got to do that's going to make you feel like, oh, that's it? Why is this not enough for you now? Is the question. They've done enough. Doing nothing is enough. Okay? Saying nothing is enough. Being complacent is enough. What else do you need them to do? To prove to you they ain't checking for you in this way. For them to put a ring on your finger. To live in the same house as you. Sleep in the same bed as you. And half the time, it ain't even the same bed. For them to do all of these things, what else is left to do? What else is left to say? Well, for one, you being very cold and bitchy towards this person, that's for sure. Emotionally unstable. You're not giving them the version of you that they marry. And rightfully so. They don't deserve it. But they still feel entitled to it. That goes back to those red flags we talked about. And we got the Hierophant here. So what I'm picking up with this Queen of Cups and this Hierophant here is that they wanted marriage, but they didn't want it the way that you wanted marriage. There was a misalignment in perspectives about what your obligations would be as a wife or a husband, and likewise for them. Okay? There was definitely some misalignments here. There was some frustrations here with these things not being cohesive. And again, this goes back to that communication. Okay? All these things should have been talked about a long time ago. Okay? A long time ago. But because this person never opened up to talk about these things, they would just be like, so what is your views? What do you think about that? And all along they were doing was just clocking things to use against you. They're just waiting. And you just over here killing time. Dominique says, I've been gone a long time ago. I believe he has another wife. I think a second marriage. Yeah. I mean, like, you have to get to that point. Because, see, somebody else will settle for it. But just because they're settling for it don't mean it is working for them any different than it was for you. That's who they are. Right? Now, what is this trying to teach you? We got the Knight of Cups in reverse. Ooh, child. All the glitters ain't gold. This was trying to teach you all along that you have been complacent, that you have been settling, that you fell for the love bombing, you fell for the lies, you fell for the glitch, you fell for you just failed. Okay, you just failed. I didn't say you failed. I said you just failed. F-E-L-L. Okay? You just failed. You fell in love with everything about them that they was representing at the time. But now that you done got them home, it's almost like buying a car, right? You know, you test drive a car and you're like, ooh, yeah, this is it right here, you know. It's got this, and this. And then when you really get home and you really look at that mother trucker, you be like, man, this ain't got half the stuff my other car used to have. That's what this is. Okay? That's what this is. This person deceived you in so many ways. And Spirit is saying, I'm going to use this lesson to show you. When people show you who they are, believe it. Don't add nothing to it and don't take nothing away from it. When I show you who people are, believe them. Period. Don't add nothing to it. Don't take away from it. Don't romanticize it. Don't try to dress it up, put lipstick on it. Like, don't. Just don't. Just be honest with yourself. This is the best that I'm going to get is right now. It's here right now.
Period.
And you have to think like that. So if somebody is showing they tail in the beginning of the dating scene, what do you think is going to happen when things get serious down the line? You think something's going to change?
You look so dumb right now.
I didn't mean to play that sound. But what Spirit is saying is that nothing about this person is going to change. They showed you who they were from the beginning. They consistently lived up to it. And it's nothing that's going to come out of this that's going to change that. Okay? Nothing's going to change that. Oof. They're okay if you say goodbye. You could threaten them all day till you blue in the face. They don't care. They don't care. They're empty-hearted and they're callous. Yep. Wow. Wow. Y'all, we just got the Knight of Pentacles in reverse, the Four of Wands in reverse, and the Magician in reverse. I just told you they don't care. They do not care. You not happy? I don't care. They feel like when you express your dissatisfaction or express your concerns in their warped mind, they really think that you're trying to manipulate them to do something. And you're not. You're just being honest and having a conversation with your spouse, with your person, with your partner, trying to be vulnerable, trying to get them to get their head in the game. It's not. It will never be. This is the type of person who deserves to be alone and needs to be alone and don't want to be. We got the Eight of Cups here in reverse. What you need to do to heal is stop fearing that you can't do this on your own. It goes back to what I said in the beginning of this reading. You feel like you're too old. Ain't nobody gonna want you. Now you're married and you're divorced. And you're thinking about yourself in all the wrong ways. And what I am telling you is that Spirit is showing you it is better to be alone than to be with somebody who does not want to be with you. Ain't you tired of walking in the house and the house just being so cold and so empty? Aren't you tired of feeling like you're forcing somebody to speak to you? You're tired of feeling like you're forcing somebody to talk to you? Like, that's a feeling that you just can't deny. That's a coldness that you can't ignore. But for some reason, thank you, Earth Angel, for my gift. For some reason or another, you continue to hold on to it like this is normal. This ain't normal. The way that this person has treated you is not normal. So the question then becomes, why can't you leave this alone? If they don't want to change, why can't you change you? Why can't you leave you? Leave. Why can't you leave for you, right? Well, for one, with this hangman in reverse, you feel like you're being irrational. So you being patient. You call yourself being patient. I'm making an impulsive decision. No, Ma, you made an impulsive decision when you married this man and you didn't know him. No shade. But I'm just telling the truth, right? You never got the chance to know them. They never opened up their heart to you. They never showed you that soft and vulnerable side, that nurturing side. Contrary to popular belief, men can have nurturing spirits too when they're into a woman or a man, whatever it is. When they into somebody, they got that energy too, right? Now, we got the high priestess in reverse again. So spirit is saying, you need to start by not being afraid to leave and stop ignoring your intuition. I am here guiding you. I am telling you this is not right. This is abnormal. This is not going to change. This is toxic. This is unhealthy. This is not my best for you. This ain't my best for you. But for some reason, you just sitting there settling and holding on like this is it.
Embarrassing.
It's not embarrassing to say I tried a marriage and it failed, and having clarity on why it failed and not blame yourself. Okay? But don't blame the other person. It failed because we couldn't get on the same page about X, Y, and Z. Right? But now that I have gone through that experience, I now know how to manage a relationship in this way. So now I know that when I see these red flags, I'm not just going to ignore them like I did again.
Oh man, not again.
I'm not going to do that. Because I sat here in a marriage that was empty and cold and desolate and dilapidated, and it left me desiring so much more. And I didn't get met halfway. I didn't even get met a third of a way. I can't even get met a quarter of a way. It make you stand on business to know your worth a lot more. And just because somebody else couldn't see your worth doesn't mean that you got to ignore yours. This is about you learning yourself. And here we go with this Eight of Swords here at the bottom of the deck. Take off those blinders. Stop ignoring the facts. Stop pretending like these barriers and obstacles are not barriers and obstacles. I don't like it when we get into these old heavy readings. But let's see, what are the real nuances and complications of this? If y'all ready, I want you to put the little side eyes in the chat because I want to know what else is making this complicated. Because this is too much. So as we clarify, the first 7 cards that we've already pulled, and actually we pulled more than that because I was clarifying them as we went. But what else is going on here that we don't know? What else is going on here, Spirit, that we don't know already? Where is the disconnect? We got the Death card in reverse. Which goes back to what I said in the beginning about you just killing time. When you delay taking action and moving in a direction that Spirit wants you to go in, you're not hurting anyone, but you are hurting yourself. Because there is a path that spirit is trying to take you down, a healing that is trying to take place that is being delayed, getting you to level up, all these things because you're procrastinating and trying to put a period here where an exclamation point needs to be. But for some reason, you're not there. And the question is, what is this about you that got you comfortable with feeling stuck like this? You might be feeling overwhelmed with all the decisions that you need to make. I understand that when you marry somebody, it's a lot that goes into marrying them because you have to split up credit, you got properties and vehicles and all of that. Excuse me. So that is coming up as a part of the issue is that you feel like it's too many decisions to have to be made. And for some reason or another, it definitely feels like you, person A, are more of the breadwinner than person B is. It's some type of dependency here. Okay. It's some type of dependency here where it's not going to be a pretty clean cut. You understand? There's a dependency here where if you don't know what you're doing, you're going to get got. And we also have the King of Swords here in reverse. Okay. So this is also speaking to the deception, right? As you guys start to go through this process of splitting and separating assets, there's going to be some realization that this person didn't have what they said they have. Like, finances is always a touchy subject in relationships, okay? And some people do a really good job at concealing they mess. I personally can't marry somebody who got bad credit. I know y'all boo me and throw tomatoes all you want to, but I'm not going to just rely on you telling me what your credit score is. Let's look at your credit report together, all three, okay? And I will show you mine, right? Because that explains the history of financial responsibility, okay? So it feels like that's also going to come out, if not already came out, that's going to come to the point where you guys are going to have to realize that this is where this impulsive decision is going to be a sting in you. And I said that as the devil card comes out. All right. So this is definitely going to hold you in a bind where you're going to feel like you just cannot get free from this person because no matter what, you can't escape them. Okay. No matter what, you can't escape them. You don't even want the person no more, but they bad history or whatever is following you around. And I'll be honest with you, it's not fair, but that's kind of the consequence of rushing into something with somebody that you didn't get the chance to really invest in and get to know. Thank you, Erica, for my gift. And this is why Spirit is telling you to take a step back and love yourself. Reflect. You may not even be necessarily away from this person wholeheartedly right now. But as you go through this journey, you can start separating mentally right now. Stop putting in the effort and the energy into getting in to know this person, trying to force them to do stuff. They ask you what's for dinner. You tell them, I don't know what you cook. Wives cook meals. Roommates do not. Okay? Like, you're going to have to put your foot down and start putting up those barriers. Start journaling. Like I said, reading books, educating yourself on how to make this clean cut. Because this is emotional. This is jarring. This is alarming. This is disappointing. Like, you're going to have to go through the whole 5 stages of grief. Okay? And rightfully so. It is what it is. Unfortunately, this is a learning lesson about how to pay attention to the signs that you're being shown. Whew, if y'all ready to get these closing thoughts about what you're going to do next or what's possible, go ahead and put those paper, pen, and notebook emojis in the chat. Paper, pen, and notebook emojis because we about to get into this. Here we go. All right, y'all. So as we talk about potential final outcome, I say potential because I can't predict free will. I can only tell you what the energy suggests. Spirit can show you what's possible, but it's up to you to make a decision on what you're going to do and do it because you have free will. Okay? Now, where do we go from here? All right. This is going to cause you to have to do something you've never done before. You're going to have that bold faith, and you're going to have to believe in yourself. Don't sit up here and allow this person to make you feel some type of way because you're being bold and fearless and doing something different. Like, do it. Do it anyway. Okay? And this is the second time that this card has come out in this reading today. All right? We also have here the Queen of Cups in reverse again. All right? Stop being so caring and considerate about this person's feelings, their needs, their wants. You know, they can come at you with all the coulda, shoulda, wouldas down the line. Oh, baby, please. I love you. Remember, it's just a game. Okay, it's just a game. They're playing you. I don't care how many times they ugly cry in your driveway in the rain playing boys to men. They're lying.
I just want my baby.
They're lying. And we know that they're lying. Okay? We know that they're lying. They don't want they like the ideal of you, but they don't want you. Okay? As I said, they don't want you. We have the Empress in reverse. Hmm. Hmm. Didn't that just come out of nowhere? Plot twist. As you start to pull back your energy, they're going to start getting very disrespectful and trying to do things to get underneath your skin. And one thing may be that they're going to start dating and letting you know they're dating. Like I said, doing real disrespectful things. It may be talking on the phone with the person, you know, while you in the room. They got them on speakerphone. Hey, babe. Okay? Real disrespectful. All right? Real disrespectful. But don't you be moved by this. It's a ploy. Okay? It's a ploy. Don't be moved by it. Continue to go on your journey of self-love. Just look at her and say, I feel sorry for her.
Ass hat.
You can post all the pictures you want on social media. Y'all out going to Maldives and everywhere else. When the lights and the cameras is gone, she got the same version of you that I got. So don't be fooled by that. Don't let that get underneath your skin. Okay? Don't let that confuse you. Know that you're worthy of someone who's going to be invested in you like you're invested in them. And here we go with the Knight of Coins. Okay? So I definitely feel like you're definitely going to make slow but steady progress in accomplishing what you need to accomplish. Be focused, remain vigilant, put your focus on you. Again, this is about self-love. Okay? Heal yourself. Get over the distrust and the disappointment of what this relationship is. It's okay to grieve because it's not what you thought it was going to be. I would be devastated too if I married somebody only to find out it wasn't what I thought it was. I would be crushed. if I knew that my husband looked at me in disgust. Like, he probably wouldn't even wake up the next day. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm going to have all kind of thoughts. Okay? But my point is, as I said in the beginning, Spirit wanted you to go through this to teach you not to ignore the red flags. When you see them, believe them, respect them, acknowledge them, hold them. Do not dismiss them. Do not try to play like you didn't see them, play like it's not what you thought they. No, 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 no. These red flags are what they are. You saw them for a reason. Believe it. Believe it. Because now you're going to have to work super hard to get back your confidence and your faith in this process of dating and getting to know people. But really, this is about you learning how to recognize that not all that glitters is gold. I've been saying that a lot this week. Everything that shine ain't a diamond. Just because these jokers smiling in your face and taking you to the Bahamas and then to the Cancun and then to the Aruba and then to Italy and Venice and all these other, but that don't make them real. That don't make it. That just mean they bored and they wanted somebody to go out of town with, and you benefited. Yahoo! There's nothing wrong with you benefiting from it, but that doesn't mean you go marry them. Like, that's not what that means. So, this one was a tough one. Okay, this was definitely a tough one because it sounds so negative and it sounds so accusatory. But this is really trying to get you to see with your eyes open what Spirit wanted you to see, wanted and needed for you to see. Okay? So, that was a lot. And I want to thank you so much for allowing me to read your energy today, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces, dealing with this Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. I know we went through all around the world and back again, a plethora of emotions, but it's just important to know that you're not alone. We all go through these different cycles of awakeness and alertness and trying to learn how to move forward. You get down. So, my point is, y'all, don't take it personal. Okay, don't take it personal. This is all a part of your journey. This is all about the life that Spirit had for you, these lessons that you had to learn in order for you to be a better person. And it's nothing wrong with it. Okay? Can you get down? Please, pretty girl, can you get down? I'm in the middle of my life. Can you get down? You got something you want to say to the people? You got something you want to say? Because you just being real disrespectful. Come on. Thank you. So, with that being said, y'all, I want to thank y'all so much for tuning into the Pisces Tarot Experience. I am me, your girl, Mimi the Light Seer. And I am signing off. Y'all have a good day. Bye.